Welcome back, casuals.
Woo! Let's get motivated.
They carried me out and then just launched me like a little javelin.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Welcome back, casuals. We have DJ Henasi in the house, playing the tracks all night long. Now we got the brother boy here, Ben Henaway. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate being here, man. This is cool.
DJ Henasi, eh? The new little name.
Yeah.
Talk us through that.
Man, I
Actually, before we do, I should probably give proper introduction.
Oh yeah. Let's go.
So Benny Henaway, local legend. Now we grew up like a couple of years older than me, but you know, went to school, same school together, played footy at the same club and that, sort of known each other for a few years. But he's a local DJ, top DJ in town.
I wouldn't say that. You go that far.
Top DJ in this room. Best DJ on this podcast at the moment. But yeah, how'd you buddy get into DJing?
Right, it was a few years back now, man. Going back a long time now, showing my age, but it was around 2008 or 9. I think I'd always been into music my whole life. And you ask anyone, every time we go to footy, I was the lad with the boombox, carrying that.
What's your
CD
Bluetooth?
case.
What's your Bluetooth?
Yeah, that was before Bluetooth. So, but yeah, having little MP3, you know, the little things there, had them floating around, and just a CD case taken to all the games. I just love music. It was just all through my family, and then I think it was around 2008. We just me and a mate, Songy, we just were in between like our training sessions at Cows and stuff. Like we were working, but we still had a bit of time to do stuff, and we both love music. That's how we sort of connected, was our interest in music. And he's like, "Oh, you DJ before?" I was like, "Nah."
Had he done a bit though?
Nah, he hadn't either.
True, yeah.
So literally, like, we've been talking about it for weeks, and then he went and bought a controller, and then we just started learning, and he had more confidence than me, so he started doing gigs, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to do any yet. I'll just practice in the lounge room and stuff like that." And then really started getting into it, and Songy left, and sort of carried it on, and then Tease, Tommy was getting into it, and
Shout out Tommy
Watkins and TJ Trigger.
Yeah.
So and Guinness as well. So we all started, linking up and learning a little bit more. Then from there, like I still hadn't done like my first gig. Yeah. It was just little backyard stuff, and
but that's good though. Like families, like everyone always wants someone to take care of music and that.
So I just had a little Gam and controller and was just doing stuff there, and it was all good. And moved to Brizzy for footy. Finished up with Cows in 2009, I think. I broke my leg and it just wasn't. I was just like, I needed a fresh start, so I went down there with East Tigers, and my cousins I was living with them, and then they just took me out one night to Big Mike's event, one of the NAIDOC events that they have down there with Black Diamond, him and DJ Wes. So shout out to them boys. But we went there just for look, eh?
Yeah.
And I didn't know, my cousin's just like, "Wait, Mike, Benny DJ's here." I was like, "No, don't. I haven't DJed."
What, get you jump up?
Bro, chuck me on stage.
True.
Like, yeah.
How many people was there?
I think it was like 100, 150 people there at a bar, and I was like, I haven't DJed in front of any any family. He goes, "No, you won't, brother, up you get." I said, "I don't even know your songs, man." So we had CDs, man. So using the CD case, he had all these just big stacks of CDs behind me. So I was just picking out CDs, listening to a song, trying to find something as I went through, and then that was it. Like, he got me like out of my comfort zone a bit, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it was like from that point on.
Was that just like a rush? Like,
it was a rush, man. Yeah. And it was good. And then Zazza moved down there too for footy, so he started getting into it, and that's when we started linking up a little bit more and doing some stuff together. Then and then found myself back in Townsville again and taking it up a little bit more, and getting a little bit more serious with it. We're just incorporating a bit of live music and stuff with what I was doing. And then Zaz moved back as well. So then, probably gonna.
Yeah, and we'll get into that, Brothas Entertainment, how that sort of came about. I was gonna say, in them early days, like, it sounds, well, the equipment you were using and like CDs and stuff like that, how much has all of that changed? And is it like just all digital stuff
Oh
now?
yeah, man! Like it's been such a such a change, and for the better as well. It was hard work, like because he only got the crowd for so long. So if you're mucking around with CDs and stuff, and they're not liking what you're playing, like you got to find something on one of the other CDs, load that up, and now that's all digital and just using my laptop, and I got all my playlists there. Or like, actually, I should have playlists, but I just got my whole list of songs, and I just go through it now and find stuff that people like. And
True, no playlist. That's crazy.
Yeah. So only sometimes I use playlists for like festivals and stuff like that when I've only got like a short period, and like Margaritaville, like that was probably like the first time I decided to do a playlist.
Yeah,
Because I know all my music that I've got. I've been collecting it since I was like 15. So like I've got so much of it. I know what I have, and when you do it, consistently.
So you just know, because I'm thinking like rocking up to a show, seeing the crowd, or like you'd know in advance, I guess, like what type of people would be there. Like catering to certain people, I suppose, would be a bit of a juggling act, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. So like if I have a set playlist, and it's not going well, then you're like, oh, what do I do? So I've just taught myself to just play with some freedom and let it go with the crowd, I guess.
Is there like, do you find there's a couple of songs, don't matter what crowd there is, there's a couple that just bang all the time, you know? Like you could be at a little white wedding, white people wedding, or you could be at a festival, you could have all black fellas in a nightclub, but then there's like a couple of songs that don't matter what the vibe is, you put it on and it just gets the crowd going.
Right, like, there's a few that I can think of, but when it comes like, you do your white weddings and stuff like that, you'd think that, they'd be hesitant to what sort of stuff you play, but then they come out of nowhere and ask, can you play DMX?
Hey.
Party up. I'm like, hey, yeah. Or they come up, can you play Kia, Lick My Neck? Like stuff like that. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah. So I'll play it, man. It just goes silly little stuff like that, man, that, people just, and it brings people together. So it just shocks them a little
So
bit
sometimes requests are good.
Yeah.
Because how annoying is it, like, when cunts come up and they request and songs play this, but they're just trash.
Yeah, it's hard to hard to deal with that. I've been watching a few like little reels and stuff on Instagram about how DJs deal with it, and one fella, he goes, the best way that I deal with it is when they ask me a shit song, I came and cut the music off and go, oh, what'd you do? And then they look and then just blame that person for the request.
Put them on the spot.
Put them on the spot, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. But like, I try to cater to, if it fits within what I'm doing, like then I'll play it. But sometimes I just say, nah, sorry sis, I can't play that, because like if everyone's vibing and they ask for something that's
completely different.
But I'm like, nah. So I did like R&B night at Monsoons. Well, it was a while back now. We do them regularly.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you like resident DJs there?
Something like that.
Every Friday, couple Fridays?
Every couple of Fridays and Saturdays. Try to line up with all the footy games too.
Yeah, okay.
So,
check it out, Monsoons Friday night.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Well, yeah, and it was R&B night, so I promoted as R&B night, playing R&B all throughout the night, and one girl goes, oh, can I request a song? I'm like, yeah, what do you want? I said, I'll just remind you, like, I'm doing R&B tonight, like, so if you can keep it within that scope, then that'll really help. And everyone's dancing. She goes, can you play Taylor Swift Love Story?
No.
I was like, yeah, righto. And yeah, and she had a group of her friends, and I was like, waited a bit, and they still hung around. She's like,
Standing there looking at Jay.
It's crack. And and then it was in that point that I was like, if I want these people to hang around, so I'll play it. And and then played that, and everyone enjoyed it. Like it didn't matter. They all still sung it. I'm like, okay, so yeah. But there's some that are just like, if I haven't heard it before, then I'm like, I'm not really. Gonna
If it's a song you're not familiar with,
yeah. So, but it's it's always fun and interesting. You run into some interesting characters, and it's.
What about like you're at the stage now, obviously, where you're getting approached a lot to do shows, and you've got them recurring gigs and stuff. When you were starting out there, how did you sort of start reaching? Did you have to reach out to people, or how did you start getting your foot in the door?
We knew like a few people that were working on the scene, so it was just sending little messages to them. Really, like back in the day with the bank, like that was a long time ago. Like me and Zaz we knew some of the promoters and that there, and we're like, oh, come through for a gig, and like yeah, and this was like before social media, so we didn't have any platform to go with, and it was just sort of if you knew someone in the spot, then that's what we went with, and then word sort of gets around from there. As a sort of help with my footy as well, because I still had those connections with people at Cows and stuff. So, and that's where it kind of really took off for me. There was doing stuff for Cowboys, and obviously all that corporate opens up to that corporate area.
Basketball, from there.
And that was. I guess the basketball was honestly probably the first one. Because I knew some people there, and they like hit me up. Yeah, can you come through? I'm like, oh yeah, never done this before. And then working with that game day crew, and they introduce you all the time, so people start getting familiar with you. And that was back in 2017 when I started that.
Have you been doing every season since then?
Yeah.
Oh, really? With Towns on Fire?
Yeah. And I loved the fire even before that too, man. Like we were going to the games, and I never once reached out, and I went to one of their games. I'm like, oh man, it'd be mad to have a DJ here. And
they didn't have one before that?
Nah.
Yeah, right.
And literally the next year, Sam hit me up, the GM. Shout out to Sham. Sham.
Sham, wow.
Sham, wow. Shout out to Sam and a team then. And I jumped on there and did that. And then the next year, year later, had that COVID season. So all the teams came. And so every now and then, there's still some players that are floating around other teams that recognise me. They come up and say hello, and it's pretty cool. So that opened up to new clients.
So what did they do before at the games? Just play music or something?
Play music, I think, man. I don't really remember. It was just it was a lot of crowd engagement and stuff. So a lot of clapping and stomping and stuff. And I didn't hear too much music. I was more tuned into the game, so I didn't know what was happening. I didn't, if there was any. I didn't hear any. That's why I was like, it'll be mad to have a DJ. So it's been great, and the people that I've met through that opportunity has been really awesome, and so grateful for it, because it's opened up more opportunities for me. Zaz as well, he jumps on and does some games. And we're just loving it at the moment. So
talking about big black Zaz there. It's your little crew you got there now, Brothas Entertainment.
Yeah.
How'd that sort of you've mentioned a few things. You've been working together for quite a while and stuff, and but actually getting together and making this brand, I suppose.
Yeah. So as I was saying earlier, Zaz moved back to Townsville not too long after me, I think, or he was already here. I actually don't remember. I just caught up with him at one of the grand finals when I moved back, and I don't know if he was doing too much back then music wise, but it would have been one year they had the All Stars come up.
Oh yeah.
Was that 2019 or something like
Yeah,
that? The first one that
around
they
then,
had here. So we at the new stadium, and TK hit us up, eh?
Oh, yeah.
So he sent us a message he's like, "Oi, you want to link up and do like a All Stars after party?" And we're like, "Oh yeah."
He works his way in everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Little frick, eh? Troy Kennedy, shout out.
Yeah, lad. And so it was like, oh, me and Zaz, it was just a chat. And so we hadn't even spoken in person about this. And we both went, yep. And that was it. And then we started yarning from there what it would look like. And it was only like 2 weeks out that TK came up with this idea. Yeah. We weren't even thinking about it, because we were just, just so caught up with other stuff and thought, it would be a good idea. But wasn't too sure how we were going to make this work. It's 2 weeks out. We don't have a venue. We were Blackfella Murray time, mate, just last minute. And it was like, went to a couple of different places, tried to introduce ourselves, and they're like, no, not too sure. I'm like, oh, whatever, all right. So we tried the brewery, and they jumped on it straight away. And like, how many people are you expecting? I said, oh, look, we played in Brisbane before at similar events, and, we might get a couple hundred people or something. And goes, oh, we'll give you upstairs, and you can do that. We won't charge you for it. And I was like,
Really? Fuck, how good.
I said, okay. And I said, we just have to pay for security.
Yeah, right.
And then, and so they just took the bar, and we honestly, we thought it would just be like 200 or so people would come through.
So you sold tickets to that event?
Yeah.
So you's got tickets, they just got
they got the bar.
that they...
Yeah. So they looked after
but
us.
But no charge for the space. That's
it was
that's
awesome,
pretty
man.
good deal.
It was unreal.
For your first sort of...
because we hadn't...
first one.
We didn't have the money up front for that sort of stuff. It was just like, who's willing to give us an opportunity and rock it out for them. And they've been so great, the brewery. So we've been working with them ever since.
Awesome.
And I talk about some of that stuff too that we're doing with them. But so we rocked, we set up, we did the promotion and got a bit of traction, and we come to the night and hadn't my wife and my sister-in-law working the door, and some of Zaz's family too. She took a video, bro. She walked outside, and that line was around the corner of the brewery, like almost across the road. And I was like, we're not going to get all these people in here. And it's COVID too, so we were stressing, and like it was so good though that we had, and so we somehow got, I think we got like 275, and then they had to sort of cut it.
Yeah.
But we only had one bar going, so the bar was like struggling to keep up with mob. They were buying drinks
10 at a time.
and
give me 10 rums.
Yeah, that whole place was packed, and that was like, I guess that's where it really took.
Where you thought we could do this regularly,
do
like
this
we
regularly.
obviously have the demand to people want to come see us, sort of thing.
Yep, and shout out to TK again, because if it wasn't for him, me and Zaz would still be doing our own sort of thing, still like working together at some capacity, but not to the extent that we're doing now. So TK pulled that all together, all his little ideas, and
He's always got ideas.
yeah. And then off the back of with Brothas Entertainment, like we got our little band as well that sort of caught a lot of traction since I brought them into Brothas Entertainment, because we were doing just little weddings and here and there, and and then we got to do some stuff at Cowboys, and that was great, doing stuff on like yachts and stuff, and we were random parties, and and we had like a really great lead singer too in Carmen, so his voice was just, no one sort of had heard him before in that space. So
between him and Darren, like their voices, man. I don't think there's anyone locally that has the pipes that them lad, them two dudes.
Right.
Fuck.
Some of the
So it's that like Well, try to explain it a bit better, like for those that don't. I'm sure most people listening probably are going to be, you know, friends and stuff
Yeah.
of ours who know you more. But these fellas got a deadly setup where, you know, Brothas Entertainment, it's not just you fellas DJing. You have a live band, usually what, 4, 5 years?
Yeah.
And they are deadly. Like, you know, so you don't just get one or the other.
Yeah.
You just come together and, you know, you might be live band for a bit and then as the night wears on, you
Yeah.
move into DJing and
Yeah.
like it's such a cool setup and something that you offer.
Yep.
You know, like usually you hire a DJ or whatever, they just, you know, play tracks all night.
it.
But the fact that you can offer both sides,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's plenty of times where live music is probably, that's what you need for the scene. But then you need DJing later on or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, you
Yeah.
can probably navigate that a bit better than just offering
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah. And it's really worked out well for us. It helps the night flow, breaks it up a bit because, you know, doing an early part of the night of just DJing is not
Yeah.
much really happening. So live music keeps it interesting. And when you got really good talent like we do, it's definitely a bonus that it's stuff that people haven't really heard too much before unless, you know, you're only place you'd see them boys, some of them boys was at church. If you go there, and obviously everyone knows KP, his commitment to the church, and Darren as well. They're good lads, and
So yeah, how'd you get all them fellas on board? Like they're just obviously fellas like Carmen and that fellas you know from footy and that. But how
Carmen.
did you just get them on board and say, look, this is what would start and come fucking sing for us? Like
it was me and Hepper first actually. So I went to a backyard party with Hepper, Guinness, and a few of them boys. Actually, it was Matassa that invited me, and he said, "I'll come Guinness's house," you know, because I'd only just moved back to Townsville, so I wasn't really rolling with the same guys that I used to. Was just doing my own thing, and Tazza hit me up, come over, and that's where I met Hepper, and he was playing a guitar, and I only just sort of playing guitar, and we're just jamming out. He's like, "Oh, this is mad, bro." So we should catch up more often. I said, "Yeah, sweet." And he's a deadly fella, and we just kept yarning and catching up for drinks and started writing some songs together. And then we had a wedding come up. It was Ricky Thorby's wedding. And what happened there? We were, they hit me up and they said, "Oh, you want to come DJ at our wedding?" I said, "Oh, yeah." And he goes, "Oh, do you know anyone that can do live music?" And I was like, "Oh," I said, "We haven't like really done anything together, but I could see if KP's available," because they wanted him to sing. They wanted someone to sing their first dance.
Oh yeah. Because what was he doing at the time? He was just playing, like, in
footy.
church and just
playing
around
church
playing.
and
was he gigging at all or anything or not?
just doing family stuff, more than anything. Just bowing a little tight knit community. So it was just they were keeping him to themselves.
They weren't sharing.
Yeah, they weren't sharing him. So I said, "KP, you want to come do this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, all right." I said, "They want all my life." Casey and JoJo. I said, "Because I can't sing that, man." And I only literally just started singing. I taking it a little bit more serious and trying to practice and improve my voice. It wasn't at a point where I was like, I still don't think it's at a point where I feel comfortable with it. And I was like, man,
when you're around fellas like them, you never feel comfortable.
And he just let KP go, man. And so he learned that song and sent him a copy of it and like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." All right, I said, okay. So, but we didn't even have a proper sound system or anything. We had home theatre system.
True.
We took that to the We took a home theatre system. Sony one, bro, them big and things like that.
Did it sound all right on the day? Or
It worked out all right, man. So we plugged that in. And that weekend was the first time Hepper met KP as well. So we all just met that day.
Yeah.
Oh, me and KP knew each other obviously, but then they just started learning songs while at my house 2 hours before. Went in, set up the girls. This is the maddest story. I love this part. the girls, Kira and the girls were getting ready. Kira Lee were getting ready in the room at the back. You know the what's that joint across from the casino, the Quayside Terminal?
Oh, yeah.
So they had their
Oh,
wedding
right,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to a wedding there. It's a good venue,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah. So the girls are getting ready in the back room. We'll set up, and I said to the photographer, I was like, we're just gonna do like a sound check. Like, is there anyone else around? So the girls are just getting ready in the back room. So okay, all right, too easy. KP starts playing this song, and then starts singing it, and then the photographer come out, the makeup artist come out. She's like, you got to stop, and he's like, what? What's wrong? He goes, all them girls are crying.
Fuck that, eh?
And I got to do their makeup again. And I was like, and that's when I was like, I never like experienced anything like that before. Like I've had, you've watched people sing and obviously they're good, but then to get moved by that, and that's when it was like, KP.
Yeah, to draw out that emotion, yeah.
KP's something special, and it was that point that people were telling everyone that you got to get these boys to come perform, and then we pulled in Jordan Fagudu as well. He'd come in and because he can rip the guitar and sing as well, and then Gabe Little came in, and then we're just doing weddings flat, and I was just DJing off the back of it and trying to sing with KP. Like I just listened to what he's doing and try and mimic that, but I was like, I can't hit it like that, man. I can.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to feel shit about yourself. Try to sing after him.
Yeah, but it was good. Like if you because when you're singing, like he'll harmonize underneath you, so make you sound real deadly. I bet you got a nice voice. Oh yeah, no. So sorry, KP, I got to claim that, man. But yeah, so yeah, and we just did some, bro. We did some weddings, man. We got some stories, and I went to one wedding, man, and I can't say like where it was because it would just sort of give it away. And I tell this story all the time, and this we're singing this girl. Actually, KP was singing this girl down the aisle, and she was just full staring at the lad while he was singing. I was like, hey, this
you getting married up here?
look straight, eh? Oh man, and it was hilarious, man. And she was just like, oh my God, like my heart was beating so fast when he was singing. I'm like, shut up, like stop. And she was, and then all these other weddings we went to, people were just captivated by him. And then we started doing some stuff on, at Anlay when that was before it was a beach
it was good
hotel.
up top there.
And just like we did some stuff down the Strand, and people just coming up. We love doing the stuff down the Strand. It was just free event, and people that were just having a coffee in the morning and that, and some people that were just randomly walking past. One fella was just full crying. He's like, when he heard KP, like he was just like, oh man, I was having a rough day, and to hear you.
Fuck, how good is that?
Yeah, and
that'd be pretty special to hear.
And that's like.
That's the thing. Music can invoke all sorts of emotion, like sadness, happiness, joy, like everything. And I guess, people are captivated by that.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And what, you just use that as a bit of a time to jam and practice? Because it's a free event, you just...
Yeah, and that was the other thing too, man. We never practiced. So because KP lived in Bowen, Selwyn as well, who we... KP's uncle, he played bass for us as well. So they lived in Bowen. Hepper was like busy with work. Jordan was working at Cleveland. So he was like flat out. We never had time to practice. So we'd use the weddings as just a jam. We'd go, we should try this song. And just start playing.
Never played it
before. I'll add that on the list for next time.
See if people fucking like it.
Yeah, we probably got together like a handful of times, if that. Like,
fuck, that's deadly.
Yeah, and then the weeks that we couldn't get KP, there was no like real set. I shouldn't say that. Not couldn't get KP. It was just like there wasn't really. We were pretty casual about who came on and. Not casual, but comfortable with who came on and sung with us, as long as they could sing and fit our vibe. Yeah. So, a shout out to Bella Boy that's not with us anymore, the Torres. So he come on and did some stuff with us for a while, and man, he was such a special talent too,
he
man.
was fucking good, eh?
So yeah, we miss him so much. And he just captivated the room like KP. We wanted them two to sing together, but never
never
had the
got
opportunity.
to. That would be amazing.
Because and KP was Torres was a jukebox, man. Like he could just play anything. you give him a song and he just knew it, and away he went. So we had some good times with him. Did some weddings over on Maggie Island, and it's
I think your guys' style too. Like most of the time you hear a live band or whatever, and it's just you're playing the bit of country, classic, pub rock, all that sort of stuff. Whereas you guys, especially with Carmen playing piano and singing proper R&B, like sort of blue, like really nice stuff. There's not sort of, I guess, a massive market that I've seen in Townsville, like a massive market for that. It's just the classic rock, pub rock songs,
rock
like
stuff. Yeah, that's what we do, man. That's just guess what.
So it's good that you are sort of different and can play that, especially for weddings and that. People want them love songs and their R&B and Casey and JoJo. Not many cunts in Townsville are busting out Casey and JoJo.
Nah, not at all. So that sort of sets us apart, and that's what we've grown up with. So it's just like, we'll play it, and now we've started learning some of them pub songs as well, just to throw.
They're always fun.
Something different. Because Gabe plays. What's that song, that Fuel, Shimmer? He always gets me to sing it. Put your white voice on and sing Shimmer. I'm like, go on there.
Well, funny you mentioned that, because talking about Quayside Terminal there, Harry Lynch got married there.
Oh, yeah.
And they had just a duo, a boy and a girl. I forget what their names were. They were decent, just playing there.
Were they a white couple?
Yeah.
I think it might have been Ben and Ash.
I think it was, maybe.
Heart songs,
But they had a little break, and our mate from Cairns, Bullo Ray Lennox, he gets up and plays, and then he's not too bad. I think he used to gig a bit up in Cairns, but then he played Shimmers, and like everyone going off, like them people were giving him a little bit of time and dancing, whatever. But then Bullo gets up there, and then people are just carrying on like he was the paid performance. But Shimmers like his go-to.
That's the song, bro. Oh man,
that is a track that get the people going.
That one, my go-to, like for gigs at the moment, like Gabe would get me to sing that one. Josh Turner, Your Man.
Right. Lock them doors and
get that low voice going, and I've got to be in it. Like, it's got to be a good day to sing that song, because to hit that low note, like you got to, as soon as people hear that first note, it's like it's either hit or miss. So you got to make sure you get it right. And jam that one, bro. It's a good little song. So
we fucking talk a fair bit about how popular country has become.
Yeah.
So you enter a bit more of that into your
man.
Performances and stuff, because it's like just the last few years it's taken off. The like pop country, and people just love it. Like blackfellas, we grew up listening to country.
We listen to country. Not pop country, but we listen to country. So is it, like you said, you throw that pop aspect into it, it's really opened it up to everyone else, and which is good, man, because it just gets them. It's a good avenue to actually dive into some of that old country.
What's the main genres you would have grown up listening to? Or like biggest influences and main genres that you sort of shaped your flavor, I suppose.
R&B and country, man. My parents and my family are just right into country music. So, we used to have an old Ford Falcon with the 6-stack CD player, and it was just full country. It was my three that were on rotation through our drives were Trisha Yearwood, Tim McGraw, and Vince Gill.
Vince Gill
was my favourite.
He's my favourite, man, by far.
He's my favourite.
I think so underrated. Like I've spoken about him a bit on here. People probably get sick of me trying to give him his flowers, because I feel like in the country world, people love him and he's given
Yeah.
his flowers. But outside of that, a lot of people don't know how great and talented he is. Like,
And when I heard that lad's voice, like I was just, it was something else. And yeah, that whole album, I think it was something Keys. I forgot what it's called, but Mum just had that on repeat. There was that Celine Dion, obviously not like any of that, but yeah, she was in that playlist as well that we had, and we'd be doing drives to Rockhampton, and them just same six CDs were just playing the whole time, and because you got to get in the boot to change the CD. So Dad wasn't pulling over, and he definitely wasn't into listening to my R&B and stuff. So yeah, but like R&B wise, it was Brian McKnight.
yeah,
Is a big one for me.
Babyface and stuff.
Babyface,
Like,
just them sort of fellas, man. That just, them footy trips, man. With me, Robbie Louie, and Matassa and that, and I bought that CD case, and bro, we were just jamming all them old school Boys to Men and stuff, trying to practice harmonies in the bedroom. So yeah, that really shaped, the.
it is crazy to think of, hey, like it's not something I thought of at the time, but listening to your parents' music, and how much later on that actually does shape you and influence your taste
It does,
and
man.
overall sort of music that you
It
that you
definitely
like,
does.
I suppose.
Yeah, because like the melodies and some in those songs, like if I was drawn to them when I was younger, and I look for that now. Subconsciously, I was looking for it when I'm older, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not finding it anywhere, and it's only in that old music so I've gone back to it now, and anyone that comes up and requests like a song like that, I'll stop everything
Straight
and
away,
I don't care
next in
where
queue.
we had Margaritaville, someone say Vince Gill,
Don't let our
say
love
less.
start slipping away.
Oh, that's the song, man. That one, If You Ever Had Forever and More.
Yeah, that's. I remember we had when you used to tape stuff of like country music channels. We had a whole tape just of all country music. But that was one that I would just pump. Like, and at the time, like I said, parents listening to it and that didn't really think of it that much. That like Travis Tritt and stuff. If I Lost You by Travis Tritt.
Yep.
Songs like that, man. And it's like, not till now I look back and think, fuck, it's sort of, I guess that really shaped the way I listen to music now, because like you say, you're always looking for them melodies and them, I guess, I don't know, just the way that them songs hit.
Yeah. Yep. And there's only a few that are sort of doing it now. Like Brooks and Dunn, man, that were the songs that we used to listen to. Randy Travis and stuff like that. And but I've been doing the radio lately. So.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up, Elite Radio. I went last year for the first time. I need to get tickets, actually. That's in a few weeks.
Yeah. So, it's in August 16th and 17th, I think it is. Or 15th
something like that. I think it might be, 15, 16, 17, something like that. Do you do all the nights?
The Friday and the Saturday,
I'll go on Saturday night. Get your tickets, everyone.
Get your tickets.
Honestly, though, if you haven't been to the Elite Rodeo, it is unbelievable. It's one of the best and most well-run events I think you'll go to, especially up here.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Like people think, rodeo, fucking bunch of, bogue and this and that. It's so different. Like I've been to a few. This is way different to any rodeo I've been to. And the after party they have in the big barn, like big American style barn out the back with these fellas playing music. It is deadly.
I love it, man. It's the first one that I did. Shout out to the Kirschers and the team there for the event that they put on. The first year they asked me, I was a bit nervous because the country music that I'd grown up with, I thought that was like what I was going to be playing. So I was like, I threw in my list, I threw like Brooks and Dunn, Tim McGraw, who else? Alan Jackson, and some of them songs went missing, man. I was like, this isn't hitting.
Yeah.
And then I realized like that's when I started having to listen to more of that
Yeah,
pop
the
country
more modern
stuff,
country
man.
is,
And
it's a lot different, eh?
it's a lot different. And lucky I had some people there that were like, oh, Benny, play this one, play this one. And
Play
I was like,
Shabuzi.
yeah. Well, this is before Shabuzi. Yeah, so I think it was 2020 I did the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so like that's when I really had to start diving into that pop country and your Luke Bryan's and obviously Shabuzi,
Kane Brown. Shabuzi. Even the stuff now with what's his name with all the tattoos, the big fella. Jelly Roll. And, even the other fellow with what's his name who he's diving into country now, the other cunt with all the tats and stuff.
Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone.
Yeah.
Obviously, Luke Combs and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, Luke Combs was probably the first one I started listening to, in that genre. And there was some songs that reminded me of, the stuff that I listened to that I was really drawn to it. And then now some of his later stuff I really love too. And it's not the stuff that you'd play at a rodeo, but like, but like it was that storytelling aspect of those old songs that I really like. Yeah, there's that Tim McGraw song. What's that song like? Mom and Dad were taking and fishing. Yeah. And I was really drawn to that sort of storytelling. And then there was one song of Luke Combs that I got, 5-Leaf Clover. I was listening to that, man.
Track. Yeah.
And that
the story in that.
Story in it, man. This stuff like that I was really drawn to. And I was like, oh, man, I like this fella. And, so we went and seen him live. But yeah, some of that pop culture, pop country it's what they're into at the moment. So I had to really dive in. And the next few years now I've gotten better at it and feeling a bit more comfortable and I let loose.
Just
a little
try
bit
slide one old one in every
one,
day.
But
Chattahoochee
still goes, bro.
Well, you should just chuck in like a real old school, like Conway Twitty or something.
Yeah.
Like one real old one, George Jones or something.
Yeah, there's got to be something there. Gambler still goes, bro. Everyone knows a gambler, so I'll chuck that in there regardless.
Have you ever done it where you do try and slide in a song that's totally, out of left field and just see how people react, or something that you really like and see how people react?
But at the rodeo
or
just anywhere.
Or like something that you love and you're like, oh yeah, but then you get cut up if people don't react to it.
Well, I probably have, man. Like I've done a few, man, but I'll use the radio. Like I played Tim McGraw or something like that, and I love that song, man. And it didn't hit.
Really?
So
because that's really upbeat. That's like
only like a few people knew it. So I was sitting up saying like, "Oh, damn it!" Yeah. So
true. That is surprising.
Yeah. So
because we've been I've spoken about it recently. We've been playing this game like where we all chuck a song on cue, but you got to go through the alphabet. So like I put on a song letter A, B, C, D. But then it's like you're always waiting for that reaction when you're playing a song or your song's coming up.
Yeah.
And if people don't react to it, you get a bit like, I thought this was going to be, get a big reaction or be a banger.
Yeah, I do that. I do that sometimes at monsoons, man. Like last weekend, I'll chuck on like a old R&B love song because it was like 11 o'clock. Like we finished at like close to 11:30.
Start slowing it down.
And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to play a slow jam and just see what happens. And what song was it that I played? I played Tevin Campbell. Can we talk? That always hits, man. Yeah. But there was something else that I played that
Keith Sweat,
Twisted. I wasn't so much a slow song, just hadn't heard it in a while. And I wasn't too sure if it was going to... actually, I knew it was kind of going to go. It was just people hadn't heard it in a while. It was Bow Wow and Chris Brown, Shorty Like Mine. Yeah. And he did dun, 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 dun. And he's just watching people that they go, they just lean back in that chair. And one fella go, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. And I love that sort of reaction, yeah. But if there's one song that I do love playing, it's probably Kaylin, Rock Me All Night.
Yeah.
If that's my all-time favorite, I'll I'll drop that. If I know there's some people that like R&B, I'll drop that. And I've played it one time at Margaritaville, and I just played it because I just loved it. And and I also play it more regularly now because I named my son Kalen. That's why I named him
really?
Kalen.
Oh, how good's
so
that?
Spelt that way, Kaylan. So
Not after Ponga.
No, it wasn't even. That's why you name him after Kalen Pong. I'm like, no, it was after the band Kalen.
Yeah.
So, and I always said that from years ago when I was like 18. Me and Obi Gaia at training there one time, and he liked them as well. And he goes, "Bro, I'm gonna name my kid Kalen." I said, "No, I'm gonna name my kid Kalen," and I promise you that. Like,
Has he done it?
I'm not sure if he did, man. Like, he reckons he. I don't know his kids' names, man. But yeah, he was adamant that he was gonna do it, and so. But yeah, as soon as we knew we were having a boy, I'm like, I'm naming him Kalen, and I'm playing this song more than I ever did. So yeah, that was like one of the early albums that I bought, that No Commandments, and I loved it, man. Yeah. So, but that song, I get nervous playing it because I'm not sure
If it's gonna hit.
If it's gonna hit, but there'll be some people that know it and enjoy it, and that's all that
Going
matters.
back to Margaritaville, you're back there, eh? Or like,
Yeah, we did one a few years ago. I did one on my own, one of the first ones there, and I wasn't too sure what it was all about because I did a set earlier in the afternoon, and they're like, "Oh, can you do another one? After the main act?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sure." So, I mean, I left. I took Hepper with me just to come along, and we left and had dinner. Come back, and it was packed. And I was going to go up there by myself, and I went, "Oh, bro, I need you to come up with me. Can you just like get me an MC or something? Because like there's so many people here, and I'm by myself. I'm nervous." He's like, "Yeah, bro, we got this." All right, so yeah, I did that, and then they asked us back a couple of years later, and this time was with Zaz. So we did a set, and then went really well. People asking us are we going back on? I'm like, no, we're only doing that one set.
how long's a set usually go for at something like
About
that?
an hour.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, sometimes two, but so we sort of break it up a little bit because a lot of the acts they have there are a lot different to what we play, and they got their own style, and so do we, and it just sort of just breaks up the day, I guess. People will chuck in a bit of R&B and then try to. And also try to cater to what the Ville are trying to do
most
as well.
Promoters and people putting on events like that, do you reckon they try to keep a theme? Or what do you reckon would work best? Say you have a real EDM headliner or something. Do you need to set that from the start, or do you think it's good to have completely different because then you attract different people and then...
Yeah.
And you might listen to, like, you might not be into... Say someone's really into their techno and that's why they're there, but then they come and hear you guys play R&B, you might really be, I appreciate that, even though you've never had the opportunity to listen to it or be exposed to it, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what we kind of love, those opportunities to sort of showcase what we do, because we could, we can play a bit of that music, but then it wouldn't be us.
Yeah.
So and it does, just open up for other people to hear, some R&B on it at a different level than what they usually do, and we try to find a way to make it all work and still be R&B, but still fit in with
the flow of the event of
things. Yeah, we won't go too heavy on it, but like we'll try, do some remixes that are a bit more, dance type, but still have that R&B flavor to it. So. We won't go too off track with, with what they want, but it just fits in really well. It does break up a day and make it a little bit more interesting than just doof sometimes, And
you can't be doing doof from fucking 2 o'clock in the Arvo to midnight.
Midnight, they got to have something there to break it up. So, but yeah, that's what we offer. And like I said, I'm like so grateful for the Ville and that for putting us on.
By the time, I think when this comes out, that weekend is going to be live on the lawns, which will be at... So 6th of July?
6th of July, we've got another hour set there. I'm not too sure what the time slot is at the moment, but there's a lot of lot of acts there. This this time around, I think there's like 7 or 8
Oh, really?
people
Okay.
playing, man. Like, because like you got your 3 headline acts, or there's that one headline act example, and then there's some Nina La Vegas and someone else, and then there's like 4 or 5 of us
Spots for the
underneath
bar.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Righto.
and I'm sure we've just got like hour slots. I'm not too sure how it's going to work, but I know we've got an hour, and I hope it's on Sunset at least.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that'd be deadly.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
went to one there last year, and it was such a good afternoon. That that setting and venue down there,
Yeah.
like outside the pavilion on the lawn there is beautiful.
Nah, man, it's
This time of year too,
Yeah.
like just perfect weather.
Yeah.
Sunset be lovely.
Nah, they've hit the jackpot there, the Ville with that setup, because it's it really is a nice backdrop into the evening, and it's just I haven't played anywhere else like that before. So
Get your tickets.
We got a beautiful town.
Get
here
your
in
tickets,
Townsville,
yeah.
we're very fortunate to have what we have. Like, just off topic. Like we did a wedding there last year or year before. This mob from like Adelaide or New Zealand, like that family from Adelaide and New Zealand. They're like, we wanted a destination wedding, so we come to Townsville. Like, hey,
Had they been here before?
Nah.
Or- Really?
yeah.
What
and
time of year was it? This
yeah, it's around this time.
because I'm thinking people coming from down south or like somewhere to here, North Queensland in winter, that'd be like, holy shit, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, so they loved it, man. They
True.
had family. We didn't know anyone there. Like, we usually know.
Yeah, yeah. So how'd you get the gig? They just
The wedding planner contacted us,
Yeah.
and then we spoke to him at the wedding. And we were like, oh man, like we just love this place, and we're like, actually, you know what? This is a really good.
Yeah.
We do have a nice little town here. It's
Yeah.
just
yeah, when you I guess you see it all the time. Like we grew obviously you
Yeah.
said you spent time away for a bit, but like born and raised here,
Yeah.
you sort of do take a lot of things for granted.
yeah,
You don't look at it in that lens, I suppose. Whereas visitors coming in, and like I say, this time of year when we do get a lot of the outdoor events and,
Yeah.
and music gigs and sports events and stuff,
yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, just we're right on the beach there. You could overlook that, and we just got to make sure that wind's not up so it doesn't blow up that mud in the water. Whereas other than that, it's beautiful. So
Yeah, 6th of July, head down.
6th of
I
July.
got to get fucking surgery on my nose like earlier that week.
Yeah,
So I'll
you'll
see
be
how I'm
right.
recovered,
Yeah,
but I
you'll be
might,
right.
yeah, because I wouldn't mind trying to come because we had Johnny Rowe there on the other week. And,
Johnny's playing. That's right. Yeah, yeah,
He's coming out of semi-retirement.
yeah, yeah.
To MC and that, and I think he's going to chuck a few rhymes and
That's
that
it.
together. So
Well, that's not saying like just chucking something different in there. Really breaks up the whole event, gives people a taste of everything, and expose them to something that they might not have heard before. Because the first one I did was with Johnny. Right?
oh, was it? He's a deadly fellow.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
So yeah, I'm keen to head down. I'll see how
It'll
I'm
be
tracking.
mad, bro. I haven't seen him play since then. So shout out Johnny Rowe. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. But what if we might get into guest questions.
Okay.
Wait up, let me find. I should know these off the top of my head by now. After 50 something episodes, but I still don't know.
Don't make you nervous.
I'm sweating. All right. Favorite ever athlete? This is going to be hard because you're like
this
very
question
broad
at
with
me.
your sports.
Oh, man.
Or top five. We're actually really big on top fives here as well in this show. So give us a top five.
Top five.
Or give us your top athlete from every sport ever.
Oh.
No, give us a top five or something.
First one that comes to mind, Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. Who else we got? Going with rugby league, I'd have to say That's a hard one. Like I can obviously say like JT, but I can't go past Mango, man.
Yeah, because that's the thing with these sort of lists too. You can think the greatest or who you speculate or people speculate as the greatest or your favorite, because it's
Yeah.
like my favorite would probably be Mango. You know, like
Yeah. When I think about the impact he had on me, man, he's the reason why I wanted to be a cowboy. So, because he was there way before JT was, and I remember sitting up at Dairy Farmers Stadium
yeah, on the hill.
and just waiting for him to get that kick return and do something special.
Every time he touched the ball, it's like, fuck, is he going to score?
Is it-
Like you
yeah.
had that, so you sort of had that presence,
Yeah.
or like you just, fuck, this guy's going to score from
Yeah.
anywhere, anytime he touched it, Like watching
Yep.
him as a kid.
Yeah.
That's another, we could have a whole podcast about footy and like even the footy stuff you did yourself.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
And
for
stuff,
sure.
you know, bit unlucky there, like you said, breaking your leg and
Yeah.
a few other injuries. But early on, like I remember
was-
being on signs and shit, you know,
Right.
driving into town,
I
seeing this
know,
fella's
man.
face as what, 13-year-old, 12,
Yeah.
13, 14-year-old.
Yeah, man, I was I was like 12 when I got that billboard, and it was exciting, but like it was a lot of pressure too, man. And I when I first started playing, I just wanted to play footy. I didn't know I was going to be like half good at it.
Yeah.
Like
Just playing around with your mates.
just I was only just doing touch footy and athletics. So like athletics was like the main thing for me more than anything. I wanted to be like my influence there growing up was Patrick Johnson and Michael Johnson. Man, them two, I got to see both of them run live, and I remember wanting to do that, and then obviously then footy came along, and I was like, oh man, and getting put on billboards, and yeah, it was crazy.
A lot of expectation.
A lot of
and shit, eh?
expectation.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to deal with it sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's interesting space to navigate through with your mates and stuff as well, because like like you just want to play footy with them, but then sometimes like you sense a bit of that, you know, jealousy and stuff
Yeah.
amongst it, and I didn't like it. Like I just wanted to be mates with my mates, and that's it, and not have that sort of
Competition
thing.
with them, with your
Yeah,
mates.
not so. Yeah, and I didn't like. Sometimes I just didn't like it, and yeah, that's a whole different story. But
Going to fucking Iggy Park where, you know, shit gets real serious in them later years of schooling.
Yeah,
Like
yep.
footy at the park is like
Yeah.
around that time when we were going through school, just
oh man, it was
like a lot of pressure and
yeah, and you had
very serious.
yeah. So then, you know, and having that expectation around you to perform every time you stepped out on the field, it was different for some of my mates who could just go out there and have a good time, but everyone was judging my performance, and I'd get nervous. I used to just get so nervous before games, I couldn't deal with it. It was.
Then it becomes not fun, eh?
It starts becoming a bit more of a job. In school, it became like a bit a job for you, and so it was a difficult space to navigate through, because you had all these clubs looking at you, and every time you go away for a carnival, they're eyes on you, and then and then some of the mates you're playing with aren't getting that sort of attention.
yeah.
So, and it's hard to sort of put that aside and just be a teenager, but then knowing that this is something that I really want to do, and
When did you sort of get to the time where you're like, sort of don't worry about it? Or
after the second leg break, man,
you broke your leg twice.
yeah, man.
Fuck.
I was in some, the first one, I come out of it all right. I lost a lot of speed though, so I had to navigate that space of being a little bit slower and
Change your
timing,
game, because that
change my
was
game.
part of your game, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Just fucking being way faster than every gun.
I depend on that so much. Because I'll be able to put myself into space and a lot quicker. Getting out of dummy half was a lot easier too, being quicker. But when being step slower, you find I was getting caught out of the dummy half, and I wasn't running into my tackles the same. I was like, oh man, because you're worried about breaking your leg. So yeah, after the second time, man, because I moved back to Townsville, and I still had hope that I was gonna get somewhere with it. And this is when Blackhawk sort of started. So and Wolfie was coaching. So I went to like a NRL camp thing. It was like a NRL combine.
Yep.
And the Orr brothers ran that, and it was like opportunity for those fringe players to sort of come through and show if you still got it or something. And they were pestering me for weeks, like you're gonna come, like because they used to be my managers. So I was like, oh, I'm not too sure, like I think I'm done, like because I was at South Logan that year, and I tore both of my hammies, both my quads and my left groin.
God.
It was like just 1 week after the other. I missed half the season, and I just walked out of the club, man. I didn't even tell anyone. I was just so disappointed because that was the year I was really hoping, because I got the fullback spot to start that season after leaving East Tigers. The door sort of closed there a little bit. I ran into a few injuries. I was going to be Tigers starting fullback the year that I got there, and then I got injured in the trial match. Yeah, I played really good against Melbourne Storm. I was opposite that Fijian winger. I forgot his name.
He went over to rugby, eh?
Yeah. I was opposite him, man, and I dusted him, bro. I left him, and that's when I was like, then the club was like really keen on me playing fullback. Training, I done my hammy, missed a trial match that I played against Mackay, and they gave the spot to Kev Stevenson to start at fullback, and I was like, damn it, so I had to go back, into Fogs for a bit before I got a run. And then it didn't go too well after that. The coach obviously had his team set, so for a bit. So I went over to South Logan, and they gave me the spot straight up and played the first game. I felt myself that I was injured. Like I played it injured. I was about 70%. And all I can do, I couldn't sprint. I knew something was wrong. I knew if I sprinted, I was going to tear something. So all I was doing was just jogging, man, like Grant Geese, man. That rest in peace to him, bro. It's been about 10 years now since he's been passed. But he was putting up bombs for me, man. That's all I was doing, was taking bombs and just running at like 70% at the line. I made like half a break and I couldn't sprint. I'm like, something's wrong. I don't know what it is. The next week, we were meant to play Robbie. He was playing at Pride. Oh, yeah. And I was so excited to play against him, man. And then I tore my quad. And then, I still went up to Cairns because I wanted to see family and that. And, I had a couple of weeks off, went to come back. They chucked me in Fogs. Bang, hamstring went. Then the other quad went. That healed up. Come back, played Ipswich, done a tackle. Then my groin went.
Fucking hell.
And I just walked out, man.
Yeah.
I finished that game.
That'd be very disheartening.
Yeah, I was like, that's it for me, man. That's when I picked up the guitar.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do you look at that now and obviously not grateful for that shit to happen, but, it's sort of, if that didn't happen, then you might still be just fucking moseying on around.
Moseying down there, man. Like, it happened for a reason, man, because, I come back here.
Like, you're set now, you got really good things happening.
Yeah, got family. That wouldn't have happened, man.
Yeah.
So it was all meant to be, as disappointing as it was, because that's when I come back, I did that NRL combine camp and I did really well at it, but I wasn't fit or anything. I just relied on my ability to get me through. Did the beep test. I did like 10.5. It was terrible. my standing long jump was like 2.3. Oh, I couldn't long jump was my event, and I couldn't even do that properly. I my weights, everything was whack. But as soon as I got out in the field and played, it was just like, nah, that's it. My first touch at the board, bro.
Well, how many people do we know growing up that probably can't do anything in the gym, but you chuck them on a field,
chuck them on the field, and that's
and
it.
they're the best on ground.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of that.
That's it,
Well,
man.
this has been the longest answer for one question
one
ever.
question. Yeah, we're talking about
your favourite athlete. No, but before we do keep moving on,
Yeah.
I want to talk about that junior team you fellas had at
Bro.
Centrals.
What a
like we were
team,
two years below yous, I think. But fucking hell, you went through 4 years,
5 years.
4 or 5 years. Didn't lose a single game.
Didn't lose a game,
But yous
bro.
were playing not just in Townsville comp.
Yeah.
Yous would get invited around, playing all different comps. Did
Yeah.
not lose a game, but yous were stacked, eh?
Bro, we went to it was fortunate to have Robbie, Louie, Ray, Jared Houston, and we all played NQ, Matassa as well,
Yeah.
and then we went on and played for Queensland and stuff. So to play at that higher level, and then that was great. But then we had boys that didn't make those teams, but would just turn up every week and lift, and they played out their skin every week, and we just loved playing with each other. They kept up with with Ray and Robbie and how they knew how they played, and we're just all in sync across the field.
Keeping the same group together for that many years is almost bound to have success anyway, but especially with the talent you've had.
Well, that's it, man. People say, he's had these rep players, but it was the other boys that pulled it all together for us, because we're only, there's only 4 of us on. We can't run the whole team, man. So everyone just did their job and did it well, because Brothers had good players too, man. They'd all played rep footy as well. When we were fortunate to go play some comps. We took our team up to Cairns to play North Queensland combined sort of comp and against all the clubs, and we won that. We took Justin O'Neill with us one year to play up, and
he was grade below.
So he came up and played, and then the next year after, a couple of years after that, under 15s, we played a statewide one, and that's when we're like, this is going to be a test, man, because we know who we're going to come up against. We've played a lot of these boys. There was the boys from Kiwana Dolphins. I think that's what the team was, but they had Turi Bannister was the poster boy for Southeast Queensland. He was like the youngest player to ever get signed by an NRL club.
True.
He got signed at 13.
Fuck.
Yeah, so him, he had had some gun players in that team, and we come up against them, and we cleaned them up. We cleaned up the Rocky teams and Mackay teams, and then we got to the final. We played Burleigh Bears, and that was here. And played Chris. Sorry, I mentioned Chris Eade. Chris Eade played state with us as well, and the lad Chris, bro, we didn't play our best game. It still cuts me to this day. We didn't play our best game, and Chris took a hit up off a tap, and one of the boys just cut him in half, and he spilled the ball. And two tackles later, James O'Connor took a field goal.
I remember that. Out at Old Dairy Farmers, James
Cut me
O'Connor.
so much, man. And
losing by 1 point. First game in 5 years.
First game in 5 years that we lost, and we just went back to the sheds. It's like, this shouldn't have happened, man. Yeah. We lost a trial match against Brothers, actually, but the in-season games, we didn't lose any. Then we played, but the 2 games that we lost, we played at Dairy Farmers.
Oh, true.
Yes, that was a curse for us. We lost against them, and then Brothers put their combined team together.
Oh, yep.
And they were so happy that they beat us.
Yeah.
They
took 2 teams to beat
They took
one.
2 teams to beat us. So they took them. We walked off the field, and I remember Rossi Morgan giving it to our coaches. He goes, "Yeah, we got this here. Marta, you want a box of tissues?" And I was like, "Fuck this." said, "Oh, it's so wild." But and I was like, it took them to combine to beat us, and they end up keeping that team.
Because Glennie Morgan was coaching or like assistant for years, but what Ross and that was that brother.
Ross, yeah. So then, that year they end up keeping that team together, and then we end up beating them anyway. So we didn't play our best game that day, and it was pissing down rain. But bro, that team, man, that'll always be like a highlight of my rugby league. Just a good bunch of boys that still try to keep in contact with them, and we'll always have that connection.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Shout out to the Centrals
Yeah,
Tigers.
Central's Tigers. If you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Hey, can't I?
Spaghetti.
That's that Italian, eh?
That's that Italian side, bro. We're having it tonight, actually.
True.
So
You got to eat it probably once a week, eh?
man.
And then leftovers.
my missus, she's sick of it, eh? She's like, "Oh, we gotta do it again." I'm like, no, it's in the blood.
It's easy. It's delicious.
Yeah,
you get leftovers.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
things about spaghetti.
Nah, yeah. My son loves it too. It's his favorite. Yeah. So he'll just eat 3 bowls of it. No trouble. So yeah.
Good choice. What's the most awkward or shittest situation you've been in?
Oh, gee, there's a few. Jeez. I'm trying to think what it.
One that you're not too embarrassed to share.
I thought that I'm just trying to think what. I said I'm sure there would be a few. So what do you mean? Like,
Just I don't know, something like I could be anything. We've had a lot of different answers for this, but I forgot because I was late messaging you. I'm usually meant to send these through to you to have a
that's
think.
all right.
So you don't really people struggle when they're put on the spot. But
Yeah.
we've had a lot of different answers for this.
Um,
If you can't think of any, it's all right too.
Honestly, I can't think
Yeah, that's all right. We can move on.
of anything other than I put myself in awkward situations when I open my mouth. I don't think
Yeah.
before I speak. So like I'll write something and then like an hour later I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. And it was,
Think before you speak.
I use chat.
Which is fucking hard sometimes. And like you say, if you're passionate about something too,
yeah.
it's like you don't think sometimes you just
No, you
voice
just
your
say it out of
opinion.
emotion,
But
yeah.
the first reaction is often the correct one.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
hard sometimes.
So I've developed a little technique now. That's my filter, and it's Chat GPT. It's so good, this thing, man. So if I need to say something, I'll write it in there and ask, is this a good thing to say? No. Don't say it. Maybe you should frame it like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right. So then I won't say it then. So, and usually if I just write it in that, I've got the emotion out.
yeah.
Like it's just because it's bottled up inside me. And and then I'll write it on that and it'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? Actually,
I don't even need to say it because
it's
I've
not even
already
that-
journaled it.
I've
or,
journaled it. It's
yeah.
not even that deep,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
just let it go.
There you
So,
go. Chat GPT helping people
yeah, it's a
in
good
more ways than one.
bro. And that's like it's mad too because once you start using it a little bit more, it sort of picks up on your vibe, and how you talk. So this thing here was going. Yeah, Bala, don't say that. Hey, call me Bala. I was like, hey, what? Because it's just catching on to the way I was talking.
yeah.
So it's creepy.
Which is half cool but half scary in a way.
Scary in the way too, man. It's like, hey, you call me Bala. You know me like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I've only just started using like AI and ChatGPT in the last maybe month, I reckon.
Well, man, I use it to make my logo, man.
Yeah,
The Henasi
yeah.
one. So it's good for little things like that. So.
I don't think we got back to the name
Oh
change.
no.
We've been sidetracked a lot.
No, that's all right.
But that's what we do. Yeah, we start talking
Yeah.
and just fucking go off on tangents.
Well, I can touch on that quickly. Literally, that was it was after those gigs that I'd done at Margaritaville. So I didn't really have a name. When I was doing stuff for Cowboys, it was just DJ Benny.
yeah.
And I'm like, everyone knows me as that. And I'm like, that's cool. But when I started doing Margaritaville, and especially when I did it with Zaz, and and he was just saying, yeah, DJ Benny, where Zaz has got, yeah, give it up for Zaz.
Yeah,
And it sounded just mad. I'm like,
Yeah.
Benny's just like, Benny's not it. And then
Benny sounded like a little Chinese takeaway
oh
shop.
no,
or something.
yeah,
Uncle Benny's.
Uncle Benny's rice, yeah, that's good rice too. Got to pack it at home, but and it was after that I was like, oh, I need something, and I've been thinking about this for years, and I just been sticking with Benny, and then like, Hennessy just popped in my head. I'm like, oh, what if I change the spelling of Hennessy to match my last name, like Henaway. Way is how you spell Henaway. Just take that last bit away and have Henna and then C on the end and put it out on paper. I'm like, oh, it looks all right. I'll ask ChatGPT. Does this sound all right?
Sound good, Bella?
Sound good, Bella? Do you want a logo? Yes. And he goes, how do you want it? Oh, just match it with like the Hennessy logo, and then boom, come out with that. And I'm like, and I felt comfortable.
Nice
with
and
it.
clean looking, yeah.
Yeah, I felt comfortable with it. Like I had to say it out loud. I ran it past a few people. Zaz said it out loud at a gig. I'm like, I feel good with it.
Yeah.
So, and the people I've spoken to like it too. So, yeah.
DJ Henasi in the house. Put your hands in the air for DJ Henasi.
Cuff your chick. Or them little kiss.
Yeah.
No.
What's something you're not good at? Singing after KP.
Yeah, singing after KP. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. It's around the house, man. I'm not that handy.
Yeah, same, bro.
Bro, like Mrs. be like, oh, can you put some pictures on the wall? I'm scared to put that hammer in the wall, bro. Like we've new house a couple of years, and I'm used to just sticking them
Little double-sided tape or
double-sided
something.
tape with them, so I shot that nail in the wall. Can you put up a shelf? Nah. Because you're not that handy, are you? I'm like, yeah, no, thanks for just saying that out loud, but that's probably the.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same, but that's why you got a lot of mates, so you can just ask people to do
Yeah.
your jobs for you.
Yeah,
Pay them.
that's
I'd
it.
rather pay someone than
Yeah.
do something and fuck it up.
Yeah, because then I won't get blamed for it.
Yeah. All right, what's something you are good at, but people might be surprised by, or like maybe a hidden sort of talent?
Oh man, I think I have to say cooking and songwriting. I don't really share that too much, and that's why I wanted to use my Henasi DJ page to promote some of that stuff. Like
Some more original stuff.
more original stuff, yeah. Like I didn't realize I was half decent at it until I started hanging out with Hepper and that, and I started writing stuff. And
And what are you just writing about, experiences or
Oh,
a
man.
bit of, just
yeah, not so much experiences. Like I just something would come.
Just know what
I
goes
just know
together,
what.
like,
Yeah.
how to
I've,
put a song together.
Yeah, because when people ask me what's that about, I'm like, oh really? Like it's just the words that come to me. So I just started writing it, and so like I'm excited to share that sort of stuff at some point. Like I'm a little bit more comfortable with it now, and so yeah, songwriting and cooking are the two, man. I just Mrs. loves some of my cooking. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Always keep them up. Yeah. All right. This is going to be hard, and we've spoken a little bit about it, but favorite album or like artist or something current that you're pumping?
Favorite, I'll go with man, like my favorite artist or my favorite group is 660.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so in tune with what they're doing, and I've seen them a few times live. I just couldn't get over
How good they are.
how good they were, man. Like,
Musicianship is just next level.
yeah, I just can't go past 660.
All right. What is your favorite quote or motto you live by?
Send it. That's it, bro. Whatever. Yeah, like I don't really have. too much of a motto. But it's
Nothing
just,
too deep. Yeah.
it's just, you know, lately it's just send it. Like if we're, and that's just basically just means just being comfortable in yourself and confident, like in your ability to, you know, to deliver it. So, you know, I really believe like you got to be in your own corner to begin with. Like, you can't.
If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you.
You got to believe in yourself first and foremost before other people will. So you got to buy into yourself first. So like, that's sort of just what I'm going with at the moment.
Sweet.
Yeah,
If you're going to do something, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Do it good and proper.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
No,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming in today,
Right.
Bruce. It was good chat. There's probably a lot of other ways we could take this as well, but
that's a good
appreciate
start
you coming in. And anyone listening, head over DJ Henasi Instagram. Best way to keep up to date with things.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, the Instagram page, and also shout out to Brothas Entertainment.
Yeah,
too.
Brothas
So,
Entertainment.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of the gigs and stuff on there, and what me and Zaz are doing. So,
Live on the lawns this weekend.
Yeah,
Elite Rodeo in a few weeks.
yeah, Elite Rodeo. So, man, if you do like Hayden said, man, get your tickets. It's the best event. It's my favorite event of the year, and that's not even joking. I love that place so much. I love the Kirschers and what they're doing. So, and I love country music. So that's where it's at for me. And see you at the rodeo.
See you there. Cheers for listening, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.